Welcome to Can I Steal You for a Minute, the reality dating recap podcast. My name is Indra Raj.
And I'm Mary Bianco.
And I feel like we had so little to watch this week. It was kind of a joy.
It was really refreshing, and tell me why I took it upon myself to watch Too Hot to Handle. It's like I had a week of peace and I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to ruin it.
Oh my God. And we texted about earlier today and you were like, maybe not worth watching. It was that bad.
Yeah, it gets like a little bit better, but it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't think anyone in the world is this horny. And if you are, I actually think there's something wrong with you. Like,
Oh my God.
I just feel like I just can't keep watching it because it makes me feel like a boomer and like
Yeah.
and gets me like very like puritanical in a way that I'm just not in my real life, because I'm just like, oh my God, you're a beautiful 22-year-old girl, you're smart, you have so much to offer, like why are you leading with sex? And it's like, Mary, they can do whatever they want, but something about it all being like in a row just gets my brain like very on edge.
Well, it's like, it's as we age, we look back on how we acted at that time,
Yeah.
or the way people who are that age now are acting, and it's like, no, you could be so much better.
You have the future, like please. And it's like,
Yeah.
I think that is part of what gets me bummed out, is I'm kind of like, look at this world that we have now in pop culture where like women are taking back so much power, and then it just makes me sad because they get to these like lessons, basically like they do these like therapy sessions, and always at the root of it is that I'm super insecure about the way that I look, and I never thought I was good enough, and people in my life didn't love me in the right way. So now I use sexuality to cope with all that. And so it just is sad when it's like,
Yeah.
in the beginning of the show, it's like, haha, look how horny these people are. And then like 5 episodes in, it's like, oh, they're like this because they are searching for physical connection and intimacy. And it's like, then I'm just sad.
Right. It kind of reminds me of like why I find it so difficult to watch Euphoria.
Yes, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great show, and if they put out more seasons, which I think they will, like, I will definitely watch them. But, like, the first season especially, just because I'd never seen a TV show like that before, where it was just so, like, the ugly... I don't even know how real those depictions are of, like, high schoolers, but I imagine a lot of it is true, and it's so wrapped up in like sexual insecurity and how you think you're supposed to be, and when it comes to sex at that age, when you're new and your hormones are out of control and you're insecure anyway, and like just the kind of really damaging things that can happen as a result of that. And then through the generations that you see on the show, it's just like so upsetting.
Yeah, I think that that's it, where it's just like, it's upsetting. Like, it's like, and you want it to be like the editing of it with the voiceover is like super haha whatever, and it's like, it's actually not funny to be laughing at how like horned up these people are, when you ultimately reveal that it's not that they're like super horned up or their sex drive is super high. It's that like they're really lonely and they've only been taught to value what they look like. And that's really sad. And I know I'm thinking too deeply about it, but it just is really sad. Like,
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like it's important to notice those things and call them out. I mean, I just think it's getting worse and worse. I think about the insecurities that like I had as like a millennial growing up around the way I looked. And then like that is like times a million now.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, my mom like went to go visit my brother like a week or two ago in Philadelphia, and he has a bunch of kids, and one of them is like a tween girl.
Oh, so
She's
hard.
like 12 going on 13. And my mom was talking about how she's like obsessed with moisturizing.
Oh, My
And, like,
10-year-old niece is obsessed. It's very strange. Yeah.
I think it's like TikTok influencing.
I know.
And like that hits kids like that early where they're like, I need to have a full like before bed moisturizing routine and I need this cleanser and blah blah blah. It's like I don't know. Something about that scares me.
I know. I feel the same. Like I was on like when I was on the cruise and my brother's kids would come like in and out of the room and I was getting ready for dinner and I don't wear like a ton of makeup, but I was putting some makeup on and I always think it's fun when they ask me like, "Oh, can I have some whatever?" Just put like blush on. And then I was doing it and I was kind of like feeling bad about it. So I was like just reinforcing that they don't need it and I'm like, I don't even need it. Like just going like overboard. And then we're FaceTiming with Madison, who's 10. She'll be 11 in June. And she's like showing me her makeup bin. And like she has concealer. And I'm
no.
I'm literally yelling at her. The three of us are on the phone and we're all like, me and my sisters and my mom is on the phone and we're like, Madison, you're so beautiful. Like, you don't need any of this. It's just for fun. It's just for fun, right? She's like, yeah, I just like the packaging. And I'm like, okay, hopefully that's it. Like, and not that she thinks she needs it.
Yeah, that's like kind of evil and insidious too, right?
Well,
that's like capitalism capitalizing.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at like the chapsticks that I even use, it's like a candy colored squirt bottle with like a shiny top and it's like they are beautiful. Like I'm moving, so I've been going through my things and one of the things I went through was my makeup cabinet in the bathroom and it's like I don't even use half of this, but the packaging is beautiful and I know that's why I bought it. Like
that's like that. Is it a makeup brand that on my Sounds Like a Cult podcast that I love to listen to, they did one about the cult of, it's the makeup brand that was started by that girl who was on the hills. Oh my God, what's it called? It's going to drive me nuts now. I like knew nothing about this because I am like so out of that. Like my algorithm is not serving me that type of stuff. But
I know Lo Bosworth was doing something weird with vaginas.
It wasn't Lo. It was like she was a side character. She was like an intern
Whitney?
at the
Whitney?
No, not Whitney. Like a side character. Like I didn't even remember her.
Oh, I don't even know.
It was really interesting though, and it was like all about how it focused a lot on like how she built this brand and like how she kind of developed this like
Is it Drunk Elephant?
Pink? Like millennial pink?
Glossier.
Yes.
Glossier. Yeah. So I actually like disclaimer use their perfume because I think it's like such a nice musky smell. But their other products are how I figured out I had rosacea because I put it on and I was just trying to do a skin tint because it was like post college and I wasn't ready to get like, I graduated from college in 2015, and those of us who remember it was a very traumatic time for makeup where it was like almost like orange and thick ass eyebrows and just too much. And so I left college and was like, okay, like let's take it easy. Like, and so I buy the skin tint from Glossier and I go like all in because they had this like little packet thing. That
they have a whole marketing thing. Yeah.
The best packaging. It broke me out so bad. And I was like 24 and I went to the dermatologist and they were like, oh, you have rosacea. And everything about rosacea says it's not supposed to show up till you're 30. And they were like, yeah, you triggered it. And I was like, sick. Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
So
you see, this shit is real. Like
this shit is real.
Just because some pretty woman on Instagram Reels or TikTok. I'm saying Instagram Reels because I don't exist on TikTok. So I see the Instagram Reels version. I'm so old. They like putting on something. And actually I do get a lot of these like they like know that I'm not going to buy the concealer, but like maybe I would get like a skin tinted like SPF moisturizer, right? And so you see this like gorgeous older woman putting it on and her skin looks amazing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't like, I'm like, yeah, that looks amazing. And like, I just know that like this isn't what it's promising.
It's not
going to
feel like this. It's not going to be the feeling of it. And just full disclosure, like I have a 12-step skincare routine, maybe not 12, but a bunch of steps, and like I don't even know which ones are working and which aren't. I just do this
your
order.
Skin looks amazing. I would have no idea that you had rosacea. I'm very surprised to hear that.
Well, I am on a prescription. So that's like the real thing is like prescription skincare is like the best thing you can do. So funnily about my prescription is ivermectin, which if people remember during 2020, people were eating it.
Yes.
And my prescription cost has never gone up higher. I literally was like,
that is
dummies. And it's always old white men who have like that crazy bulbous rosacea nose. And I'm like, put it on your fucking face because you do need it. Don't eat it.
Wow. Okay.
But thank you so much.
Speaking of medical skincare and the topic of this podcast.
Yeah.
So Leah, our queen from Love Island, USA, she recently did a video about her skincare routine because I guess she gets a lot of questions about it because she has really beautiful skin.
Yeah.
But she was like, guys, not that long ago, I had like incredibly bad skin, like just broke out all the time, really bad acne. And the first thing she said was like, I'm on Accutane.
Yeah.
And I was like, we love you.
So
like, we
so
love
refreshing.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's not like some company buying you out telling you to say that like your Glossier kit will like make everything great. It was like, I'm on Accutane. That's where I started.
Yeah. That's and that's it. Like prescription skincare exists for a reason because it's so good for you. Like another thing I noticed with Leah is she was going through like her shower routine.
Yeah.
And this is so embarrassing. She was like talking about like the lotions and stuff she uses to smell good. And I bought one that was like $6.
Yes.
Like everything that she used was under $12.
Oh my God. Well, yeah.
And then it's like she's so rich and she still is prioritizing that. Like, that's what I love. Yeah. I have just loved the actions of the PPG since leaving the villa. Like just this week, their power has grown so much. They're just...
They're like superheroes.
They really are. And they're using their power for good.
They totally are. I love these women. I saw a recent post about like Instagram followers. I mean, everyone has skyrocketed. But Leah's top, like almost 2.5 million.
Crazy.
Serena and Janae are the like next highest, like 1.4 and 1.3, I think. And then it's like everyone else. And like... I'm obsessed with how much I just feel like the nation is like behind them and supporting them and they're supporting us. And it's an amazing parasocial relationship.
It's so like, it's so back and forth. And I feel like it's all these like players intertwining where my entire TikTok is still talking about them where it'll be like, oh my God, guys, Leah reposted this video and it'll be like shade towards Andrea or like Miguel reposted this video and it's like a video like sticking up for Serena. Like just like the way that they're having each other's backs through this process is so much fun also.
It's so much fun. I do feel like Leah and Miguel are probably going to be over by 2025, like early 2025.
Maybe. I don't know. They're really talking about each other so much. Like she keeps calling him her guardian angel. He filmed a vlog where he was like he's obsessed with like anime and he went to this store with his
a big nerd
and he also has two best friends who are also very hot nerds and it's like
love it.
So they just went shopping for like Funko Pop things and he found like a pin set that was of the Powerpuff Girls and he was like, oh, I gotta get this for them, and he just buys 3 for the girls and he's like, I'm bringing them to the reunion for them.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with Miguel. Never have we read someone so wrong.
I know. I have the opposite of the ick now. Like,
oh my God, I love him. I mean, like, and this
him.
is like, you really can't judge a book by its cover. Like,
or even like how he wanted to be read. I just feel like this is too much into it, where it's like he thought he had to come with this like macho, deep voice, like serious man persona for everyone to love him, and everyone just loves when he's just like a goofy weirdo.
Oh my God, I love him. I think he's funny. I think he was clearly just like, I don't know. He gives off like supportive, fun, affectionate, like all the good things.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just think I can't wait to see him at the reunion. Like he'll be back. And for everyone listening, there's an event going on at the 92nd Y that I will be attending with my sister next Friday.
Hell yes.
It is a conversation with your Love Island favorites. They haven't given us names yet. I don't know who it's going to be. Watch it be like Coy and like fucking Connor or something.
Oh my God. No, not our favorite.
No, I hope they mean favorite. I hope we get at least one of the PPG. I'm not sure because I think it's while they're filming in New York.
Okay.
The finale. So we'll see. I will report back, I guess, in 2 weeks when we do our finale episode. I'll have seen that too.
Like, honestly, I would fly out to go to that.
Come on back.
But Leave starts kindergarten like 2 days before that. I just feel like it's not the right time.
It might not. If we got invited to the reunion, then I'd have to say sorry, Leave, and you just
no. If we got invited to any sort of press situation, I would be there. Like 100%. Even if it was like 24 hours, I would be there.
100%.
Like 100%.
There's actually I'll send you there. I think they're doing a live stream of it too. So I'll send you the link. I don't know how much the live stream costs, but I'll send you that so you can log on and watch as well if you want.
I just like literally cannot wait for this reunion. Like there are so many unanswered questions. Like I'm glad that they're filming the reunion like just before it airs too.
Yeah.
Because then we're getting real-time updates like all the time.
Yeah. And so Kaylor and Aaron made a podcast appearance this week.
Yes, on
that was very interesting.
Barstool.
Yeah. I mean BFF's pod.
Gross.
And like
Of course they won on that.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
I don't like Dave Portnoy. I even shudder to say this. He was fucking hilarious dealing with Aaron. Unfortunately, it was so funny how mean he was to Aaron's face. Like it was. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I got a bunch of clips on TikTok, and it was like to Aaron's face. You know, Aaron is saying, I felt so bad watching Casa Amor back. Like I regretted my actions. And he goes, dude, you're not a truthful person, but that's the biggest lie you've told on this entire thing, that you felt bad watching a single thing you did. And
okay, I have got to hand it to him for saying it like it fucking is. Like that is the truth. That is the truth.
That's the truth. And Kaylor basically said that, that they are still together, but she kind of wants to take a break from like being in love and whatever. And I guess at one point, like Brianna, another host on it, tried to say like that no one would think Kaylor was dumb for giving Aaron another chance. Like you just see it through. And Dave just goes, no, Kaylor, you'd be absolutely fucking stupid to give him another chance. And Aaron's there.
How do you just like take a break from being in love? I mean, it's just
I don't know.
Their relationship is so shallow. Like it's always struck me as just like not really real. They're kind of just childish, like, oh, we're in love. Oh, I'm obsessed with you. It's like, I don't really see a lot of substance there. I think Aaron's a bad person.
Yeah.
And like, Kaylor, your DMs must be fucking loaded with like people who just want to be with you. So
yeah, I'm like, what's this for? Like,
I know, I don't get it.
And another good point that Dave brought up is that, Aaron's like, I didn't go on the show to be famous, but I am thinking about moving to LA. And Dave's like, yeah, you're a good looking guy. You want to move to LA, not New York or anything close to Pittsburgh, LA.
You know what show he belongs on? He belongs on fucking Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my God, he should.
He is that energy, like 110%. Like that is who he is.
Yeah, as Katie Maloney said on After Sun, that she married her Aaron. He's very Tom Schwartz energy.
Okay, can we talk about how Katie Maloney was spotted out with Connor?
What is going on? So I'm a little mad at Connor.
Why? Oh no, what happened?
He talked some shit on Janae on a podcast.
Connor, what the fuck? What did he say?
I know. He just, it basically talking about like, how he was done with her and it was never real and whatever. And she was just like, what?
Oh, that's mean.
I was over you too. So Connor is on Janae's list of people to come for at the reunion.
Oh.
So we will see how it goes for him.
Well, okay. I have talked to Connor.
I know.
And this is a man who is going to take accountability for any mistakes that he makes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's heard a lot about, he knows.
Yeah.
So
he knows.
I don't know, he could surprise me and whatever. I don't know. There were aspects of their relationship that I just felt like I don't really know what was going on. It was clear that he was like trying really hard to like be into her, but just wasn't really feeling it. But to say like there was not, I don't know. Yeah. That's like not very nice.
I think her issue was more that like the breakdown of it was more reciprocal than he's made it sound. Like he made it sound like he was fully done and and it was just kind of like, his side only. So we'll see how it goes. It's tough to keep up with all these podcasts that these guys are doing. Like
oh my God, I know. It's like I literally just watch like highlights now on social media
constantly.
Andrea's still thirsty as fuck to the point that now all the podcasts that talk about the show, including ours, just talk about how she's so thirsty.
I know. And she's kind of like spinning out on social media and like, I don't know. I think she's going to come to the reunion because she wants to extend her moment, but it's going to be a bloodbath. Like this girl cannot stop putting her foot in her mouth. And it's like, sometimes the best thing to say is nothing, like
right. Like just fade into obscurity. Like you'll be fine.
You were there for 4 days. Like you gotta go.
You're not getting like you're not going to get whatever you think you are owed from this whole thing.
Yeah.
I wrote this down because I'm curious about it, and you're so right. It was on Dumois, and Dumois is endlessly frustrating because they put these things out there and then never tell you what they actually are. But like, apparently there were 2 Islanders who were like hooking up the whole time off camera.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know. I put a question in our stories about it, and a couple of people were like, it was Kaylor and Aaron.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But like, they were together. And like, I think Dumois hinted that like, it was someone uncoupled that was hooking up. But
yeah,
I don't know. With Dumois, it's like, I like blind items that are like official blind items that have like code and they're a little bit sneaky and they've been verified. Dumois just like takes like my favorite Dumois ever was he will send like celebrity sightings and write anon please or like anonymous please whatever, and someone wrote Biden spotted in DC, anon please. It's like he's the president of the United States.
Anon please.
Anon please.
The whole thing is kind of iconic. I've definitely gone down like some Dumois rabbit holes, and it's very like fun and light for when you just need to click through something and there's like mildly entertaining stuff on there. But yeah, I don't follow them, so it just like it showed up in my feed because I think all Love Island content is showing up in my feed, and I was like intrigued by it. But who knows? It could be anyone. Like, it sort of doesn't even matter. I don't really care, honestly.
Maybe they'll say something at the reunion because they know
maybe
it's like a hot
that
topic.
would be nice.
Maybe it'll come up. That'd be really nice. Also, so another interview was Kendall was on Vial Files.
Right.
I haven't seen too much about it. I just heard that him and Nicole are probably not together.
Did you see the stuff she posted?
Yeah, she's taking a break from social media.
Well, it was that, and it was just kind of like, the reality is that like things have been really difficult behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And like, read as not my relationship is not all sunshine and rainbows, and it's probably not going to work out.
Yeah, it's all been tough, and like Kendall had that video leaked of him, and I guess Rob had a video leaked of him too, and I think it's just like this onslaught of fame, and Kendall, I guess, hosted a club night with Kenny this week, and a group of women said that he was like excessively rude to them and like pushing them out of the section, and Kenny came over and like apologized, and it was just like very uncomfortable. I didn't look into it too much, so I feel like Kendall might be on a little bit of a spiral right now.
Right. I mean, I think he was really into Nicole.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I'm not surprised about this. What was the video of Rob? Was it like another like sexually explicit video?
Yeah, like so do you know that's like that, like it's from Phineas and Ferb. It's like that sound. It's like, if I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but kind of weird that it happened twice.
Yeah.
It was like the same, and this is explicit. Everyone can skip over a couple seconds of like spread butt cheeks. Like both of them had done that. I haven't seen it because I still stand with what I said when the video came about Kendall coming out. Like, it is violating to watch it, but
right.
I think Gen Z is just like way more comfortable with butt stuff, and I think that that's what we're seeing, is that some of the nudes are just way more booty focused for guys and girls.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I mean, I sort of love that, I guess.
Me too.
Like, maybe the flip side to what we were talking about at the very beginning is that when people do feel secure and in a healthy relationship or situation, that they can take more risks sexually or like ask for things that they want that they previously would be like taboo or embarrassing or something like that. That's just shit. Like, what is wrong with people? I don't
know. But Rob got to be in a music video this week.
Oh yeah, the one in the car.
Yeah, it was very hot.
I saw like a clip of it and I was like, this is so corny. I can't watch this.
It's corny, but it's also very horned up, and I think as someone who finds Rob hot, I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, okay. Is there any other Love Island news? I think that's kind of it. Is there UK news?
No, I mean, no UK news. Everyone's, we got the finale here in the US.
Right.
Thankfully, Mimi and Josh, still won when they aired it back later. And I guess when it aired in the UK originally, Sean was caught making a face about Mimi and Josh winning and just kind of being like, no. And then they edited it out for the US version.
What a little shithead.
And Joey admitted to being a producer plant, which everyone knew.
Okay. Well, like to start shit?
To start shit, to he agreed to come on because he would have a say in how things were going. He apparently was promised a spot in the finale, and so he was very irate that he was voted out right before in such a very satisfying but very brutal way.
I don't know. Okay, it's very convenient for him to say, oh, I was a producer plant, because then it's like, oh, now you can excuse all of my bad behavior.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm still not excusing it, but...
No, it's like, Joey, you did all those things.
Yeah, you're
a piece of shit.
Yeah, you used your position as a producer plant because you thought racism would be entertaining.
Right. Like, think of all the other things you could have done instead of, like, harassing the people of color on this season. Like, what the fuck?
Oh no, he ended his own career. Like, I think he's done.
Yeah, like, I think everybody hates him.
Oh yeah, Mimi being so vocal about not liking Joey towards the end and winning, I think is just confirmation that like everyone is done with his shit.
It's a silver lining of the season. It really is.
At least he canceled himself.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you, Joey.
Yeah, see your way out. Bye,
we're
babes.
happy for you. Okay, there's a little bit of Bachelor news. I think the most interesting thing is that Tanner from the last season of BIP was seen out with Brittany Cartwright of Brittany and Jax.
What is going on with the Vanderpump Rules girls just like hooking up with reality stars, with reality dating stars?
I mean,
like,
I love it for Brittany.
Sense.
Like, anything to get her out of Jax's whatever. Like, that man, ugh. Ugh.
That man is a stain on humanity. Like, he's really like that's like when me and Deanna were playing like who would you rather fuck, and it was like Trump or Jax, and it was like a hard question. Like
I think it wasn't it Jackson Elon Musk?
Jackson Elon Musk and then Jackson Trump.
I plead the fifth. I don't even have an answer. Honestly, it's such a horrible choice. It's like, oh my God.
I think I chose like a convent. I would just isolate myself from the rest of the world for the rest of my life. I would never.
Oh my God, 100%. And then wait, there was one more thing I wrote down. Oh, so okay, before we get into our recap of the episode today, we have to talk about Devin.
Yeah.
Which the news about him, or the stuff that was leaked about him, came out literally like right after we recorded our episode last week. So last week we were all like very pro Devin, and then we learned a bunch of stuff, and so we'll talk about that now. I want to say thank you, Date Card Pod, for giving us all of this information. You are everything.
Yeah.
Date Card Pod also, in the same like series of stuff, reported on James Taylor, the other shithead of this franchise, getting arrested for like more violent behavior. So yeah. And Jenna, who runs the Date Card Pod Instagram and like is the main host of the podcast, she said that like, she said something in her stories, and I like totally agree. She's like, you just need to assume that everybody in the Bachelor franchise is conservative.
Yeah.
Like, as much as you want people to not be, it's probably just healthiest for your like sanity.
Yeah.
To go in assuming everybody's conservative.
Yeah. I think it's like more, it should just be a pleasant surprise when someone is like liberal on these franchises, because it's like, based on Jen's guys that she's most into, Sam M and Devin, I don't know that the girl leans the same way we do politically. And I think we made some assumptions just based on like how she presents herself, or maybe she doesn't care. Like, and which is also a bummer to not care.
Well, there was some stuff that okay, so let's talk about the Devin thing.
Yeah.
So go to Date Card Pod on Instagram and check out the highlights. I think it's called like shithead or something.
Yeah, it's a poop emoji and then a man face emoji.
Yeah. If you click through like a little
right
ways in, you start to see the actual leaked content, screenshots of Devin's like likes on social media. I think it was all just like social media likes. I'm not sure that there were any comments.
No, it's on this account, a very popular conservative Instagram account called The Typical Liberal, and it's like basically just making fun of liberals on here, which is like fine. You guys are weirdos anyway. Like Harris waltz forever.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good news that came out today, is we have a great running meet. But just liking like President Trump, America loves Trump, Texas form. This one was actually shocking to me, and maybe it shouldn't be.
Right.
Devin shared that his father is a Mexican immigrant. And I know that they are not close, but that's part of his story that he told Jenn. Yeah. Texas forms miles-long border barrier from state troopers and National Guard vehicles. Texas is doing what they can to stop this invasion. Once again, Biden administration is MIA.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute.
I worked in immigration. It is not that there are floods of people here and that we cannot handle it. It is that we have made the pathway to legal immigration so impossible.
Yeah.
That you cannot access it unless you are exceptional in terms of how, that's another thing we have to talk about, is Aaron applying for an O visa. But unless you are deemed exceptional, what we call Rihanna visa, you are engaged to a U.S. citizen and you get a visa to visit them and then marry while you're here. Or you experience something so truly, truly horrific that you qualify for asylum. And the Trump administration kept trying to change what qualified for asylum. And then it created this wave of people coming here and having no options because the U.S. participated in destabilizing their home country. Right. And then did not want to allow people to apply for a proper method, or once they were here, refused to send enough people or agents to process these applications.
Yeah.
And continues to fund money on stupid shit like a fucking wall, as opposed to hiring people that can process applications and that can advise people on how to fill them out. And throwing children into detention centers separated from their parents. Thousands of children were separated from their parents and never reunited with them. Those children are lost to a system. So
that
honestly,
is
like
horrific. Actually horrific.
Fuck you, Devin.
Yeah.
You are now dead ass ugly to me.
Yeah.
Your gums have taken over your entire face. And yeah, I'm talking about physical appearance because I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck this dude. He liked a bunch of like posts that were outright racist.
Yep.
Anti-trans.
Yep.
I mean, there was footage that didn't make it into the final cut because obviously this would have looked terrible. But in the first episode, the first night at the mansion when they were playing Truth or Dare, one of the questions was like, do you believe in any conspiracy theories? And he revealed that he's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist. Like, he's also like QAnon. Like, he's all the terrible things.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it's bad enough if you're just like conservative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, and it's not even bad. Whatever. People can be conservative. It's fine. But to like actively engage with these types of like they're just posts full of hatred and like dislike and just like harm towards people who need help.
Yeah.
It's just like, if that's your stance, like I can't support that. I can't support you. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
In this.
Like Devin, maybe people weren't bullying you because of your weight when you were younger. Maybe it's because you were an asshole. Like, I just feel like it feels so manipulative now because, and I was talking to my sisters about this. It's like, which part is real? Was it you being so welcoming of the Maori people and sharing yourself and being invested in another culture?
Yeah.
Or is the part where you're a racist, violent fuck on social media real? Because one of them is being manipulated to match whatever surrounding you're in. And I have a feeling it's you playing it up. And I hate Sam M. He also sucks.
Yes.
I'm sure he shares similar views. Maybe you guys have more in common than you think. But
exactly.
Maybe he's right,
and I
that
think
you're
we saw that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think that like I just saw him in a completely different light this episode. I have to think that the producers now know that, I mean, they obviously know that this conversation is out there.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense for like how out there it is? Like, you know, you and I know about it because we're in like the liberal batch circles. Yeah. But like, how much is like all of Bachelor Nation picking up on this? I want to know.
I don't know. I noticed today, like we had commented something on like a post like a couple weeks ago when Sam M was like first picking on Devin a lot, and we had commented like Team Devin.
Right.
And that got like a few more likes after the news came out about this. So I don't know if it's in relation to that or, I don't know how out there this is, but he got like very little time this week.
Yeah, I think, and the time we did see, like, one thing I loved was like, so after she presents to the guys that like she's bringing this dude Matt who looked like a fucking ghost. Like, he looked like he had just thrown up 10 times and was like ready to like throw up again. Like, I've never seen someone look more upset to be
so
on this show.
Like, so scared. And like, did he pack that tux for the wedding in Colombia and just like leave it in his bag and wore it to the rose ceremony in New Zealand? Because it's like everyone is dressed so casually at this point and he's in a full tuxedo.
Yeah, it was unreal. But like, you know, the guys are all losing their shit about it, and like except they show Devin and Grant having this conversation about it. It's really just Devin running his mouth because the guy can't shut the fuck up.
Cannot.
And like showing what I perceived as like some kind of aggressive behavior. Like,
yeah. Well,
it was very much like, no, I'm not staying. It was very machismo kind of.
Very controlling. Like if she lets him stay, then this rose means nothing. Like you guys will never see me again. And I was like, swear? Promise?
Right, yeah. Like pinky promise?
Say swear?
Yeah.
And Grant is just being like, yeah, whatever she decides, we have to stand. This is like her journey that we're on. Like, why do you feel so like weirdly entitled to her? In the same way that Sam M feels entitled to her.
100%.
And yeah, I don't know if I would have watched the episode differently if we didn't learn what we learned, but I think now I'm like,
it's sort of impossible to know.
Yeah, you can't ignore it now.
But it was not as rosy of an edit as last week, for sure. And Grant was just like, listen, like, take a deep breath. Like, let her make her choices. We just have to, like, see how it goes. Like, he was so level-headed. I was like, this man, we love this man.
Devin, he sucked all the life out of Devin. Like, all the good lookingness left Devin, and Grant sucked it all up and just like sat there so calm and just like,
and it's, I don't know. I mean, clearly there's the beef with Sam M, and we didn't actually see them have any sort of words with each other this episode. I think the only thing we saw was like Sam M just being pissed off, like when Devin took her on the farm date or whatever. But all the guys were pissed off. Like, it seems Spencer. Like nobody likes Devin that much.
Yeah, it seems like he's losing the crowd.
Yeah.
So not a spoiler alert at all. Matt obviously does not get to stay. Jenn is not attracted to him. She seems creeped out by this whole thing. He goes into the guys and announces that he's not staying, which was really weird.
It was so weird. It's like, I'm going to introduce myself and tell you that I'm leaving.
And I'm getting on a plane, and Jenn had nothing to do with me being here. I can't be more clear that I was not invited. Yeah. And Sam M.
Oh my God. Wow, this was unreal.
When he's just sticking his tongue out being like,
ew. He was so, I fucking hate that dude. Like, God. I think I hate him more than Devin because I just know he's like truly a piece of shit. Like, Devin might have there may be some hope for Devin, maybe, but not for Sam. This man delights in people suffering.
He laughed in this man's face. He doesn't know him at all.
No.
And this guy has already been kicked down. He told Jenn he loved her. Yeah. And he's going home. And he's like, I'm glad you're staying in the past, my dude. It's like, shut up.
Also, like, the level of, like, black sense going on in this first part of the episode.
I know.
From all the guys was, like, what's happening? I don't know. It's really uncomfortable to watch. Matt looked so happy telling them that he was leaving.
He made a huge mistake. And I posted a meme that was like, this meeting could have been an email just about like Matt coming and having no chemistry with Jenn, and Jenn liked it. So Jenn was not on board with Matt coming at all. Was like, he did not need to be there. Like,
they did their best to make it seem like she cared, but
she did not.
And like, I don't know. It seemed very bizarre. Like, it doesn't even seem like they've had a romantic relationship anytime recently. Like,
yeah, it seems like they've been friends for a while. Yeah.
So it's kind of wild for him to then fly across the world and say, I am in love with you and I'm ready to get engaged.
Unhinged.
Like, that is
unhinged.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Weird. Really weird.
Yeah, so I'm glad she sent him home.
Me too.
That dude wouldn't have lasted. He would have been totally bullied by these men. Like,
oh yeah,
it would have been bad.
It would have been, it would have been truly terrible. Like, they would have been like pulling pranks on him and like giving him like wedgies and stuff. Like, this is not like, this is. There are some good guys there. Like we'll get to Jonathan, and we talked about Grant. Like, this is, and Spencer, this is not a warm group. Like, this is like a very, like, trying to be alpha group, and it's like, ugh.
I know, and she's like gravitating towards those types of men. And like back to the thing where you're like, I wonder if like our read on Jenn is not correct. The only thing, like, I wonder that too, maybe because okay, was this on Caitlin's podcast Off the Vine, where she said she did ask in the fantasy suites about where was
Political
I listening
views?
to this on?
I mean, she was on Off the Vine, so it could have been there.
Oh yeah, no, this is Descartes Pod stories. I'm so obsessed with just listening to Jenna talk. She said that she listened to that podcast when Jenn was on earlier, and like she can't obviously reveal what happens, but she did say that in the fantasy suites, she did ask about political affiliation, and she did ask about like things along those lines. And I mean, the teaser is like all over the place. No idea what's going on there, but Jenna's read on it, which I hope it is, or like she said, possibly like Jenn in that podcast with Caitlin was kind of like teasing that like, you know, everything was hunky dory, but like maybe things actually did fall apart after the fantasy suites because she found out some things that she couldn't really stomach. That's my hope.
I hope so. My sister Becca thinks that, and I thought that the preview showed this even more, that the unprecedented thing, like, I can't let you propose to me, and Jenn's whole narrative is like, I'm an independent woman, I'm taking control, is that Jenn is going to propose.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I think that still is happening.
Yeah.
I think either if she's with Devin, which I don't know, knowing now that she asked about political views, I'm hoping that she didn't ask and decided that this was like okay.
Right.
Or she's gonna have to pull a Becca and be like, oh, I learned now and now we're broken up and blah blah.
And one thing we know about Devin is he knows how to just talk circles around something and not really get to the heart of it, just like our favorite politician, Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, was it with Grant? Yeah, It was with Grant. I mean, this beautiful conversation they had on their dinner date about racism, like, you know, and like Jenn's opening up about some of the more specific ways her toxic relationship was toxic and the emotional abuse that she went through. And one of the ways was, she said specifically, like, him saying racism isn't real, that anti-Asian hate isn't real, and that she was like a victim and gaslighting her like around the topic of race. And I just loved how Grant, like, I don't know, I just loved his reaction to that. So that's a sidebar. But knowing that she went through that, it's like you would 100% go through that again with Devin.
Yeah.
You know, and like maybe like I don't know how, like, it's so clear that he's conservative that like he would probably have to own up to, like, you know, who did you vote for? Like, yeah, he's a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
I just like, it's just like X plus Y equals X plus Y. Like, one does lead to the other often.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, like, you could see him somehow assuaging any like insecurities she had around that in some weird way, and her maybe looking past that. But I don't know. I mean, obviously she really likes him. Like, that's clear. He's definitely a front runner. But I just see like maybe someone coming from behind.
Maybe.
Like, I still have it like I'm still like a Spencer believer.
I hope so. Like, I hope it'll be him. I just feel like there's a part of me that's worried that maybe she hasn't fully processed or unpacked how much what her ex said to her messed with her.
Right.
And is maybe still replicating that pattern with a similar type of guy. and
100%
will continue to replicate that pattern until she like has the tools to break the cycle herself, because she's only 26. Like,
yeah,
I think that there might be some undoing of the damage that guy told her.
right.
And what makes me worried is when you're dealing with somebody who's a conspiracy theorist that is very smooth talking,
right,
that person could talk you out of thinking that those things are a big deal also.
Whoa, that would really be crazy. I mean, yeah, like it's very easy to imagine this toxic ex looking and acting a lot like Sam M and Devin.
100%.
And so, you know, we all have types of people or things that we are attracted to or drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that that's a thing with her. And so it's not a surprise that this is happening. I do think she displays a lot of awareness, like beyond the average person about these things. But like you said, is clearly still working through them.
Yeah.
Because like, you don't need to see much to know that Sam M is like a piece of shit. Like, it does not take a rocket scientist. Like, she should be able to just like smell that on him. Like, you know,
laughing in your face when you are scared is emotional abuse. And so that not being a massive red flag to her is kind of making me think that maybe she hasn't like fully worked through it. I also like Ethan was like making me laugh this week because Austin self-eliminates and it kind of sends Jenn spiraling, as it does every season, that I'm not good enough, whatever. And she gets up and she's like, you know, I never open up about my past. You guys see me as this like fun daredevil girl. And Ethan's like, what is she talking about? She's cried every single time she got challenged to do a dare. And why do I know about her ex? And I'm like, wait, yeah, she's actually... And he was like, you have to make a meme about it. And I was like, I don't want people to...
Yeah.
Jenn is liking our stuff. I'm not going to bring this up. But it was a funny moment of being like, yeah, wait, I don't know if she knows how she's like fully coming across, because I think she likes the adrenaline when she get there. But I wouldn't say she's like a daredevil go-getter with this stuff. Like, she's been terrified, you know, skydiving and bungee jumping, which are like the two main daredevil activities.
Right.
And we have heard about her ex a lot. So I understand feeling sad that someone left and feeling like not enough, but I don't know if her read on the situation of how these guys are perceiving her is necessarily correct.
Yeah. I mean, it does have to be like such a mind fuck to be the lead and have someone self-eliminate. Like, and let's be real. Austin without the mullet he's a good looking guy. I will give him that.
I think was stuck around because he's one of the hotter ones. Like, she never talked to him.
No. Like, and it's like this is typical also like manipulative behavior. He's like, oh, you know, like, I just haven't had the time. Like, it's all like, she's just choosing all these other guys, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, I need to have that time. And it's like, Austin, let's be real. You're butthurt because she hasn't chosen you for anything special.
Yeah.
And now you want to have the upper hand. And you're not thinking at all about how this would make her feel. Like, you know, this is going to crush her.
Yeah.
But you want to have the upper hand. You want to leave on your own terms. You don't want to be sent home. And so you're going to go in and tell her you're leaving and like crush this woman's heart.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's no way you're going to tell me that he didn't know on some level that he was going to really hurt her feelings when he did that. And he was so cold about it.
And it's almost like when someone wants to leave, they want to be begged to stay. And it's just like, yeah, it is uneven, but that's not how this show works. Like,
yeah,
if you've decided to leave, then you're done. Like,
yeah,
as the New Zealander farmer said, like, not a lot of collective intelligence in this group. And like,
that was my favorite meme. That was the best one. Like, accurate, incredible read. It's so true.
It's so good. It's like nothing like a group of men who call themselves alpha literally getting the opportunity to herd sheep as they claim that they do all the time online and not opening the fucking gate.
Unreal. I love how Sam M was like, oh yeah, this is what I do.
This is what
I'm ready to show them what I got. And then it's just like, what the fuck? These men are so dumb.
These men are so dumb. And it was so enjoyable. And then it's like Austin's like butthurt that like Devin won best farmer even though he wasn't trying his hardest. It's like, that's not, you don't get best farmer for being the best farmer. You get best farmer for hanging out with Jenn and making Jenn feel special. Like,
right.
Come on.
And absolutely those farmers were told who to pick.
Yeah, of course.
100%. It's like, when will these people realize that the games and the activities are like they're games. They're not, you're not going to like win someone's heart because you like won the game and got extra time. Like, especially at this point in the season, like it's clear if Jenn likes you or not. Like, and Austin knew that and he self-eliminated. Yeah. And it was just like, it was just hard to watch. It did turn into somewhat of a silver lining. I mean, the guys that I really like. Like, Marcus is a sweet man.
He is.
And, like, I don't think that they're going to go far, but I don't know. He just has, like, very, like, warm energy. And I think, like, the hug that he gave her was, like, oh, it was just so sweet. It kind of gave me, like, best friend energy a little bit.
Yeah, it was very, like, supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and a lot of people were very sweet to her about it, which is like what the lead needs at this point in the season where it's just like sad time. Like,
right.
Bachelorette had a great meme that was like the Michael Scott on the swing, and it's like every Bachelor/Bachelorette lead for some reason around episode 6 where it's just like so like downtrodden and upset.
Yeah.
Cutest date of all time though was Jonathan and Jenn.
Oh my
Our new
God.
best friend
Jonathan, we are obsessed with you.
We love you so much. I hope you're listening.
Yeah. He commented on your incredible carousel of memes. So if you haven't seen them yet, go look at. They're really good. And even his comment was so cute. He's so cute.
He's so cute. When he commented, "Oh my God, these are incredible."
I know, and like, I don't know. There was a lot of exclamation points.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So sweet.
I was watching some of the videos that he's put up, and one of them was about how he's a medium king.
Yeah. I love that.
It was really like adorable and personable. And I texted you this yesterday. I was like, he reminds me of someone. He reminds me of someone. Mm-hmm. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And during this date, I was like, oh my God, he reminds me. Actually, I said Dave Franco, and I maintain that, like, energy wise and like the smile.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of like James Franco in there too,
like non-predatory James Franco.
Yeah, like the looks aspect of it. Like, he could be like one of the brothers.
Yeah, it's
the
like
non-white
like,
version.
Yeah, exactly. This like quirky, charming, like you almost don't realize how handsome they are at first because they're so goofy, and then you're like, wait, what? Him and Jenn were literally frolicking. Like they were like skipping through a vineyard and like catching things in their mouths, and then they got in like the universal bachelor hot tub and had like a fun time where he was like, I'm worried that we only have fun, and I want you to know like how much I actually want to get to know you. And then they had an adorable dinner date, and they dumped rain on them to make it like even more romantic.
I had fun watching them frolic.
I had a great time.
I was like, I could watch this, like these two beautiful people on this vineyard in New Zealand, just having the best time. And then like, I appreciated that, like, you know, we all know on some level the producers are like, save the tough shit for the dinner date. Like, and so, but like, Jonathan was able to sort of like begin the conversation to get to that point, like in the middle of the date. which I think was like real. You know, he was like, I'm having a great time. We're in this like hot tub in the middle of nowhere and we're like half naked. But I want you to know that like I'm looking forward to seeing like to connecting on a deeper level. Like I'm having so much fun, and this is something that like I'm actually even a little worried about it because I know we connect so well in this one way, but we haven't had a chance to really like dig into this other stuff. Like I don't think I've ever seen someone say that at that point of a one-on-one date.
No.
It was very mature.
The lead has brought it up when they're like preparing to dump somebody, where they're like, I feel like we don't have this like more emotional connection, that we just have so much fun together.
Right.
And I think he did a good job of acknowledging that like having fun together is such a core part of a relationship, but it can't be the whole thing. He's the Bachelor. I really think I think he is.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the producers are putting like a lot of effort into presenting him as like this fun, goofy guy who's deep, but he's hot, but he's not like looks like he's AI hot. Like and he's got this like great social media presence, and like he's super lighthearted, and he laughs off the criticism, and I think he's at least in the running. If they haven't made their mind up, like I think he's an option.
He has that like je ne sais quoi.
He twinkles. His eyes twinkle like a Franco brother. Yeah,
like a Franco brother.
He's got
He's
twinkle
a
in his eye.
fucking Franco.
You nailed it. He's got the twinkle in his eye like a Franco brother, and you can't teach that.
And you can't teach that. And like there's like an infectious thing. Okay, so I am getting live text from Patrick, who's not with me right now. He's in Vermont. He's watching The Bachelorette right now.
Oh my God. That's
he just sent me this
sweet.
text. Jen plus Jonathan equals heart.
Yeah. He's right.
That's exactly how I feel.
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, I want them to be together. Like, I do.
Yeah, I do too, which means they won't be. Like, we so seldom get our way in this franchise, and we just got Joey and Kelsey. Like, I don't think we're going to win again. Like,
I know. I mean, they had such a good conversation, too. Like, Jenn is good at asking questions. Like,
she's very thoughtful.
She's good at probing a little, but, like, not in a weird way. Like, but, like, and she's a good listener, and I think that makes for a good, like Joey was that too. I feel like it's important to have a lead who can like carry a conversation, as like simple as that sounds.
It doesn't
You'd
happen.
You'd be surprised how many people can't just like talk.
Yeah. And how many people they've put as the lead of this show that can't talk. Like,
I also think about Ari
and Colton.
I love that.
I love
like
that.
all the memes of him being like, I love that.
I love that. That makes me feel really good to hear. I love that. And everyone's like, oh my God, Lauren's so boring. How could he pick her? I'm like, did we watch the same show? Like,
oh yeah, like of course he picked her.
Of course. And they're perfect together.
And like, no shade, Becca, but you're kind of boring too.
Yeah, of course. I mean, most of them are boring.
Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, to add to the like, it's not Jonathan that she chooses, but maybe he's Bachelor because they're giving him such a good edit. I mean, he doesn't need it in the way that like Sam M can't get a good edit.
Yeah,
I also feel like Jonathan can't really get a bad edit.
He's a star.
At the end, I agree with your sister that Jenn is going to propose to this guy. Mm-hmm. He looks very tall to me, which is my other Spencer tell.
Ooh.
Or Devin.
Spencer or Devin. Yeah, it's too tall to be Jonathan. I think it's too tall to be Marcus.
Yeah.
It's not, it could be Grant, but I don't think it is. I don't
think it is.
They had a good date, and Jenn, was very thoughtful in asking him questions, and what Grant shared, I don't think we've heard a lot.
Yeah.
That he grew up looking up to his father so much, and then his father was an addict, and just recovering from the fact that he felt like his dad was living this like double life, and the vulnerability of letting his dad back in his life and talking about that on TV. He was just like,
that was huge, actually.
That was huge. Grant could also be the Bachelor. I don't know if they'll do it because he's not goofy. They should.
I mean, they those are two really good choices for Bachelor, I think.
Yeah, or Marcus. Like, I think those are the three where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I think that the thing that counts against Grant and Marcus is that they can't have fun the way that John has fun all the time.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I think that helps carry a season a lot. And what people loved about Joey is that he was like goofy.
Right.
But I was really proud of Grant for sharing that and just being like very open. And Jenn, like you said, like asked a really good amount of questions, but then also shared something about herself to make him feel comfortable that he shared that.
Oh, totally. Like, she's not afraid to really go there in those conversations, which I think comes with, that's where I see the, like, she's actively doing the work.
Yeah.
To like work past these things, because she wouldn't be able to sit there and easily talk about them as well as I think she can if she hasn't done like some work on it. So
yeah,
that's another thing where I'm like, Jenn, I know you can see through the assholes.
I
know you can do it. You have it. You have that, like, and we've all been there. We're attracted to the wrong thing. Like,
yeah.
You know, it happens. It's just, it's going to be really interesting to see how this all shakes out, really, with like all of this information now.
Yeah. I think it will be, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I think there was Devin stuff that was cut, like, because he did get extra time and we didn't see it. So I don't know how they're going to.
That's true.
How they're going to handle it. So, I mean, we will see. I hope it's not him. A sleeper pick is Jeremy.
Okay, yes.
She really likes Jeremy.
Strike against Jeremy was the one who showed up in the expensive car.
Yeah, and then was like an asshole about it.
Which is just like, I don't know. I have a thing with like people who are like in like the like midlife crisis, you know, dad car or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a huge turn off to me.
I completely agree.
And like that was his energy, and I was like, oh, this guy is not making it past night one. And like, I don't know. I do think that maybe, hopefully, that's just whatever. I like him. Like, I liked him this episode. I liked their interaction that they had. He seems really immature to me.
It's just wild because it's like he looks. And I don't mean any shade. He's 29.
Is he?
Do I look 2 years older than him? Like, he looks 37. And a hard 37. Like, this man's been married before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's 40. And he had a midlife crisis and he bought that car.
And he bought the car. He gets extra points because he was in the same fraternity as my husband was in college, but that's
yes.
Yeah, AE Pi, we love a nice Jewish boy, but that's as far
is that like a Jewish fraternity?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he just strikes me as like really emotionally unavailable and like wanting to be emotionally available, but like he's working towards that in a way that's like almost cringy to watch.
Yeah, I think he's like trying to throw himself in and hoping he becomes available as opposed to like getting there. Like, he's the one who in his bio said he wants the first date to be the Passover Seder, and that is like the perfect microcosm. And that is the perfect microcosm of trying to do too much too soon. Is throwing a potential girlfriend into a Passover Seder. Like, I was with my husband for a year before I went to Passover with his family. Like, it's just and they're all great people. It's just a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, that's okay. I'm so glad you brought that up because that's what I'm seeing in him is I feel like he's sort of like imagined this whole scenario of what like his married life will be.
Yeah, because he's been married.
Without like actually realizing like you need to be in a relationship and connect with someone and like do things with them and all sorts of stuff before you actually bring them home to the Passover Seder. Like
care about their interests, learn who they are.
And like I think he has the capacity to do it. Like I actually thought it was really sweet the way he was like scratching her head. I thought it was cute.
Patting her head. That is cute. Because that's something you do to your partner just like mindlessly on the couch, is just like pat their head.
Exactly.
And just get any physical contact just like mindlessly. So that was cute, and I think it like reflected that they're closer than what we're getting to see.
Right. And like it's a slow burn, but it's there. Oh yeah, I agree. I'm glad you brought that up because I think he could be. And like he definitely like he does look like he's 40, but which isn't a bad thing. Like,
no,
I'm
he's
38.
like he's a handsome 40. No, I don't mean it like in a bad way. I just mean like he looks like he's lived a life that doesn't
aged.
match his personality. Like if I met him out, I'd be like, oh, this guy, like he's got a 401k and he's got everything figured out. And then you talk to him and you're kind of like, oh, you're just a baby. You don't know what's going on at all.
Wait, isn't he like a real estate agent in New York City?
He might be, which I have beef with.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. You should. And I'm like Midtown bro energy. 100%.
He definitely still lives in Murray Hill and is like,
yes.
And for people who aren't New Yorkers, Murray Hill is where you move if you're in finance right after college, and some people linger a little bit too long in Murray Hill, and I have a feeling he lives in Windsor Court, which is a very New York specific joke, but
I always think about Murray Hill. I always think about that bar with like the country music bar with the peanut shells on the floor. That's
they
like
got shut down during COVID.
Oh, they did?
It
of
didn't
course
make
they
it,
did.
yeah.
That place was not COVID safe.
I forget the name of it.
I don't, but you know what I'm talking about. It was like the type of bar that you see in like middle America, like off the highway, like in a strip mall, because there's so much space. Like there's no room for that kind of thing in Midtown Manhattan. It's just like everything's so packed in, but this place was huge, and like they had like really potent margaritas or something. I don't remember what it was.
It was all about the drink deals there, like that.
Right.
Yeah, he is a Murray Hill bro. Like that just is.
He's a Murray Hill bro, and let me tell you, those men are emotionally stunted and unavailable. Actually, this is all coming together now.
100%.
Like, at 29, like that's older than. Well, no, these guys are like average 30. I feel like, right?
I don't know. I think 29.
Grant is 31.
Yeah, but he seems 31.
I clocked that. I think Spencer's like. Maybe Spencer's like late 20s too.
But they seem it. Like they seem like they're a little bit. Not that that's old, like obviously, but for this franchise and in terms of like actually making this commitment. But there is something about Jeremy that seems younger. And I think New York City has a Peter Pan problem.
Yes.
Where and like my single friends would talk about this a lot, where they were just like, I'm not going to meet my husband in the city because it's like this. Is a lot of going on dates and having fun, and then you get to the fifth date and it's like, oh, I don't know, like it's getting really serious, and it's like, yeah, fifth date's kind of serious, like maybe you should be dating by then. But so I think it is that kind of energy where it's like this, you go into dates with the intention that you're gonna be serious about it, and then you kind of panic and you're like, okay, never mind.
It's also like so true that like there are so many beautiful women in New York and so many ugly dudes. So like he's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
So he probably doesn't have to work very hard to like get someone to come home with him.
Yeah.
Which also means he probably has never had to work really hard to like have, you know, I don't know, some sort of intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming he's going to have a one-on-one date at some point.
Probably next week.
I'm going to put money on the fact, or on the like his past relationship history. Never, like only like longest relationship 8 months.
Yeah. Or
that type of guy.
Got like cheated on in high school and hasn't forgiven women and hasn't committed himself since then. Like has
like,
very
I will be shocked if he has had a relationship longer than that.
Yeah.
you know,
I
like
agree
a
with that.
serious girlfriend. He just doesn't. It just doesn't seem like he's really like even been capable of that in some ways. And you know, no shade, Jeremy. I like you. I think you have all the components to get to like a really good place.
Yeah. No, and
Yeah.
I'm not speaking ill on that brand of men at all. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Ethan and I got married at 30 and 31, which for other parts of the country is very old, but for New York is like kind of on the younger end almost.
Right,
And he
right.
has a lot of friends who I love dearly, who I know one day want to get married, but like keep pushing it off for one reason or another, getting serious because the city has like such an energy to it that possibilities are endless. And so it's like this idea of settling down when you live somewhere like New York and getting serious feels silly, like a waste of time because it's like
Right.
options are endless and like, you know,
Endless.
one of them will break up with a girl and then the next one will break up with a girl and then they have the best summer ever and you know
Oh
like you
yeah.
know,
Totally.
and they're all very capable of finding that person, but the urgency is not there because as you said, like the city is filled with beautiful women and not as attractive men, and so
Yeah.
attractive men are flush with options here.
Yeah, they have too many options and they can be Peter Pans
Yeah,
literally and like
yeah,
not grow up and just like, you know,
they don't
get
have the
laid whenever they
biological
want.
clock that we have, just like another fucking injustice of this world. It's that like everyone is like, you know, Instagram is like, your eggs are dying. And men are like, you get more virile at 50. And
Yeah.
it's like,
It's like,
and here's a
fuck
mint that makes
you.
your dick stay hard. It's like, okay.
It's so true. Oh my god.
I feel like I've been really weird tonight. So I just want to apologize for the
no,
energy.
you have been perfect tonight. Oh, I also have to say, can we make a meme
Mm-hmm.
of just photos of Jesse and Jenn having their little chats?
I tried to make a daddy-daughter date one and I couldn't pull it together fast enough because
Isn't that the vibe? It's so cute.
yes, like I get yeah, like he's just so excited to still have time with his daughter. Like
Oh my god.
and
I love it.
knowing the relationship that Jen has with her dad being very strained and Jesse recently welcoming a little girl, I just
Oh, that's
feel
so
like they're doing
true.
something for each other.
No, 100%. I just like I get so excited when I
Me
like see
too.
them sitting on two bar stools, like getting ready to have their catch up chat. Like
Yeah.
it's so different like from the days of yore of like Chris Harrison sitting down in some bejeweled room in a castle like
Like
with
lecturing the girls on their
yeah.
sexuality.
Exactly. It's like such a different vibe. Like I'm still getting used to the new production,
Me too.
you know, but I'm still loving it. Like the kind of like romance that we felt in Joey's season, I feel like is totally I really felt it this episode. I think
Yeah.
because we had some like pretty romantic moments.
I
like
mean, they dumped
the
water.
rain. I mean, the rain was like almost too much though.
It was so heavy. Like and it's also like why did they do it? Like it made for a very romantic moment, but it was like this is so heavy-handed.
It literally looked like whoever was like running the rain like accidentally dropped a whole bucket of water.
They were soaked all of a sudden.
It like didn't get through the rain shower thing
Yeah.
properly and it just like soaked them. I mean, there was a point where he saw them kind of giggle and I think it was like them being like, this is a little much.
No, they're literally drowning. Like they were being waterboarded at one point. Just like could not. Oh, they're like, oh, you have to make out and we dump buckets of water on you. It's like they can't breathe. Like,
No, totally. I mean, but they were like, I mean, that was the date of all dates. Like that was
yeah,
like a end of season type final date energy.
yeah. That was like that's why I think that he's the Bachelor. I think that this is going to
Yeah.
get coached to fizzle out at the perfect time where it's like he'll make top 6, but they won't meet each other's families and they won't go to fantasy suites together. They won't say I love you, but like he's going to like her enough that
Yeah.
his feelings are hurt going in the next season. And so they're just giving him the really romantic dates and the chances for him to like really shine.
Right.
And Jenn, the meme I posted about like he got a helicopter, a hot tub, and then the rain, like Jonathan's the chosen one. Like Jenn liked that meme too. So whatever, I don't know.
What did we see in the preview? We saw Marcus potentially self-eliminating.
Yeah, I think that would be a huge blow to her.
I actually don't.
You don't?
And here's why. Because I think this mid-season leaving is a lot harder pill to swallow than later on with someone who you're actually not that into. They're just kind of there along for the ride. And I really get that energy. Like,
yeah.
I think Jenn really likes and respects, oh my God, what's
Marcus.
his name? Marcus. That's just like, I think she really like cares about him on some level. I just don't think it's romantic.
Yeah. I think there's part of her that knows she should pick someone like Marcus, but just can't get there.
It's kind of like with Grant too.
Yeah.
I think I really get that. Like, I think she really likes and respects him, and obviously he's hot.
Yeah.
But like, there's something missing. I did notice, like, during the day part of their date, she was kind of really carrying the whole conversation. I mean, who knows what we see, but like, it was a very different day portion than like what we saw with John.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like night and day.
I can't even really remember what Jenn and Grant did during the day.
They sat on the beach and it like rained.
Oh, and they went on the horses.
Yeah, like they didn't really talk about anything.
The horse
he
dates
wasn't
are
giving
hard.
a lot. Yeah, it
like,
is.
You're so far away from each other. I was also laughing that like they both got on the horses. They helped each other on the horses, and then they pan out and they're both on them, but the horses are tied to the pole still. Yeah. So I'm like, well, someone has to come release them. Like,
yeah. That's so funny. That's really funny. It did look amazingly beautiful, though.
I want to go to New Zealand bad. Like, it looks stunning.
It looks amazing. I feel like, so when I was in Ireland, I was like, parts of the coast especially really reminded me of South Africa.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I think also New Zealand is like a part of that like triangle.
They like broke off from each other.
Yeah, I was actually wondering like if they were originally all together as one landmass and somehow ended up in the disparate parts of the planet. It could happen. Maybe not New Zealand.
I think New Zealand,
maybe. I don't know.
New Zealand and South Africa would be more likely to be together.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I keep getting this. There's a TikTok sound. It's a song that gets stuck in my head. It's like, you don't fuck with Pangea? Oh, let's change the subject. And it's like, I don't know where it came from, but now it's just in my head.
Okay, I'm going to do some research and report back, but if anybody knows, please tell us. Sorry, that was like a major tangent. But
we do fuck with Pangea, so we'd like to know.
Oh, yes, we do fuck with Pangea. We do fuck with New Zealand. Like,
heavy.
Maybe somehow we can have like a podcast trip to New Zealand.
I think we pick Ireland, though, based on the fact that you went and I'm going because of you.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. 100%. I hope we have some Irish listeners. We should look at the map.
I love you guys.
Love you. Love all of our listeners. Seriously, thank you so much for even listening. Is there anything else from the episode? I think we covered it all.
Yeah, I think we covered it. I can't believe we're this far in already.
Right, same.
Thomas N is gone. Thank God.
Oh, God. Did you notice the way he was sitting at the like first cocktail party?
No.
He's so like aware of trying to look like a man.
I know. I'm like, just be comfy, baby. Like, just relax. Like,
just chill.
Just chill.
He was like clearly so surprised that he was sent home. And
yeah,
it's like,
I know. Which is like, dude, you haven't kissed her yet.
No, and like they didn't even show very much of their connection. And there's no way she didn't clock him like. I mean, that first night or whenever it was where he took Devin aside to talk to him or whatever, like that was not a good look for him, especially.
It was just weird for him. Like, I'm glad that he's done now. Like,
yeah,
he's kind of being a troll on social media. Like last week Sam N was like, oh, and yellow looks nice on you, by the way, and he threw the shirt in the garbage on Instagram. It's like, dude, like just relax. And then at the end of the episode, we lost Dylan, who we barely heard from, but he's like so handsome. Like, why did she not talk to you?
I know. I feel like they had like a couple good chats like early on, but never one-on-one. Like, it just like it wasn't gonna happen, you know.
You can't get there at this point. It's too far to come back.
Does it mean that there's one more episode before Hometowns? Is that possible?
No way, right? How many men are left?
How many men are left?
Hold on, let me look it up.
I mean, I think there's only 6 guys left.
That would be crazy.
I know.
I miss when they used to black out like who's gone.
Right.
Devin, Grant, Jeremy, Jonathan, Marcus, Sam M, Spencer. So there's 7 guys.
I mean, cutting 3, it's been done before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that would be a little premature, though. Maybe it's just one person. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because when is Golden Bachelorette? It would probably line up with that.
Oh, I don't know. But they're definitely promoting that really hard.
Oh, she's September 18th. That's soon.
That's like...
It's going to be Wednesdays? Shit.
Oh, well, then maybe there'll be some overlap.
Yeah. We might have to change when we record.
They did that in the fall, too. Oh, yeah. We're always going to have to adapt to all this shit. There's so many things. Speaking of, so we're obviously going to keep covering The Bachelorette, but I am interested in watching Love is Blind UK.
Me too.
So
I'm excited for it.
We're going to watch it. And I'm just expecting they're going to put out 6 episodes.
Yeah, maybe we aim to watch 3 for next week.
Right. That's probably enough. Unless like for some reason we see a lot of people talking about it online, then maybe we'll catch up. But in any case, if you want to follow along with what we're watching, we're going to be watching that. They're promoting it hard, like on the US Netflix social media too. So I just feel like it's probably going to be a good season. Like there's probably just something good about it that they want us to see.
I hope so. I also love like how regional the UK is. Like they're like equally obsessed with their towns the way that we're obsessed, and like counties the way that we're obsessed with our states. And like I feel like with what we hear on Love Island is like people will be on the opposite side of London and call it like a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
And so I'm very curious how specific they're going to get in terms of Love is Blind, because...
Do we know what city they're going to be in?
No, I don't know what city it is. And I feel like we see this all the time on Love Island UK, that like people know each other in these places.
Right.
No one leaves.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if we're going to run into the situation where people know of each other. And
I mean, we had that happen in the US, so
that was
you
Lydia
never
got
know.
off the hook too quick for that. That was crazy.
I sort of hope that doesn't happen. That was sort of a bummer of part of that season. I was like, can we move past this? I don't really care. Okay. Well, that's it then.
That's it.
We'll have more memes and stuff like that.
Of course.
So pay attention to that. Hooray, Tim Walz. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Yeah. Everything I've heard about this dude, I like.
It's been amazing. And to hear what he's done, and he's the one who coined calling Democrats weirdos, and like I know 2016 was they go low, we go high, and now it's like, no, let's just call it what it is. Like, you guys are weird. Being obsessed with like what people do in the privacy of their own bedroom is fucking weird, and like being so obsessed with guns that'll never love you back is fucking weird, and like being obsessed with Trump and letting him brand you is weird. Like, you guys are weird. And be unweird and join us on Brat Summer, because we're having a great time.
100%. I just found out what Brat Summer was.
Oh, it's the best.
Actually, I'm not totally sure what it is. This is how I found out. I follow Padma Lakshmi on Instagram.
Yeah.
And there was a video of her daughter explaining it to her. And she was like, so it's like hot girl summer, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically what it is.
And it's just being like unapologetically yourself. And Charlie XCX on her album, like kind of Brat, which is where it comes from, explores like choosing to be child free. And I think that is part of it, where it's like just owning your choices and getting to do what you want. And it's been great. I'm tentatively allowing myself to feel hopeful, but
me too. I think like in some ways it's like this is what the election cycle should be.
It should feel like this, yeah.
Like it should be the way it is in other countries where it's like 3 months long. You're not allowed to campaign before 3 months before the election. All the decisions get made during that time. Like it's just like that's kind of like we've been forced into this in this weird and wacky way. And it's just like, I don't know, there's new energy. Like the conversation is totally different. Like I feel a level of hope that I really did not feel before. And that's great. So I just wanted to bring that up because it's Tuesday and the news just dropped this morning.
Yeah.
So,
and we deserve a little bit of joy.
Yes, we do. And that just brings me back to like, Jen, please make the right decision.
Jen, have a brat summer, okay?
Have a brat summer, Jen.
Have a brat summer, Jen. If you're with Devin, break up with your transphobic, racist fiance because we are having a great time.
Yes, we are.
Also, just like, it's fun to be accepting of people, okay?
Right.
Don't make all these weird rules for yourself. Like, you're putting yourself in a prison of your own mind by being this closed off to everybody else. Like, get over it.
You're so right. Like, it is fun to, like, actually like people and care about them and have fun with them.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Okay. And with that.
Thank
you all for listening. Cheers, lovers.
Thanks for listening to Can I Steal You for a Minute? Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and if you like the show, please leave a rating and review. Follow us on social media at Can I Steal You for a Minute Pod, and support the show through Patreon at patreon.com/Can I Steal You for a Minute.